Welcome back to Backroom Convos. I am your host with the most, Lesego M, aka Shoot Short. Maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy. Like Kai Roads, Cartoons Tuesday on a Wednesday, baby. So we were supposed to release this episode yesterday, but we didn't because we were covering the Monday episode and we're releasing today's episode tomorrow. So yeah, I do apologize for that. And shout out to all the people that are supporting us or supporting the platform worldwide. I did give out the numbers of the people that we're supporting, who are currently supporting, who are actively supporting us. Internationally, I think I did mention yesterday, Uti, Singapore is one of those countries. We moved up in South Africa, in the charts in South Africa. We moved up, we're sitting at 36 from 41. So it's like 5 places down. So Singapore, Kenya, Zimbabwe, Uganda. Shout out to Botswana, Lesotho, and all the people who I didn't mention and you guys are listening. Shout out to you guys. So the song of the day is by Dugzin Moscow ZN Shelanabu featuring McFarlane. So the song currently sits at 388,000 views and it was released 2 months ago. Ladies and gentlemen, this song is a hit. So yeah, man, it's Cartoons Tuesday. Remember yesterday I did mention we are going to cover MKeys as the the artist of the day. So I did mention that you're going to cover him as artist of the day. So yeah, MKeys. Funny, when we were doing the research, when I was doing the research, I found out that me and him are from the same hood. He's from like Mfolo, I'm from Folo. Like my maternal side is from Folo, and paternal is from White City, which is like a street away from Mfolo. South Africa, for those who don't know. So we are about to give you a background review, or not a background review, but a background story of Unosa. So a lot of you might not have the background. He's like one of like the underrated artists currently that we have in South Africa, and he's been like doing this music thing. He's been in the music scene for like 2 decades, if I'm not mistaken, 2.5 decades, if I'm not. So for those of you who don't know who Themba Mavuso is he's Diwa Guy is the name of the song I was talking about yesterday. Go listen to it, stream it wherever, whichever platform, on all the TSPs. It's available. I'm also waiting for a song by Sticks, Kelvin Momo as well. I think Nuklawena. It's already trending on TikTok, I know. And it was said, rumors were saying the song is being released tomorrow when it's New Music Friday. If I'm not mistaken, it's New Music Friday. So it's released on the New Music Friday. So that song, Midnight Tonight, it's coming out. Can't wait to stream it. And I think either Bedanabo, Nuklawena, and Bill Maroon, and there's like 4 like contenders for song of the year, but we'll talk about it. We'll dissect it, we'll speak about it. So but for now we still have to talk about matters of the day, which is like Cartoons Tuesday. Which song are you listening? You are guys, what I'm listening to. That's what I'm listening to. What are you listening? Do let me know in the comment section. What are some of the songs, the artists that you feel like are underrated, and tell us about them, and maybe we might do some background check, and if they're interesting enough, we might cover them on Cartoons Tuesday, on the following or the next episode of Cartoons Tuesday with Lesego M. So starting with the journey or the career journey of Themba Mavuso, who's formerly known by his stage name as Keys. He was born and bred in Soweto, Mfolo, where I come from. Shout out to Mfolo, deep Soweto, LLA. So he was born in February 2025, February 1992. He, obviously, I'm going to speak about his journey as a DJ and unpack it for you so you can understand. So he was inspired by his uncle, like the music thing. He was inspired by his uncle. That's when he started taking DJing as a hobby. Obviously, uncle being the inspiration, never given the name of the uncle, so we might give a shout out to him, but there was no name given. So, and from then on, took DJing as a hobby, and he started like building his skill set and entering local competitions and winning some of those small competitions. And in like 2007, he transitioned into like music production. He started like doing his own music in 2007 and started learning and developing, expanding his musical rapport, including original work producing original work essentially. And his passion for music grew from that point. So in 2024, this is like a timeline that I'm giving you guys. From 2014, in between 2014 and 2016, that's where he was busy with school. Obviously, he graduated. There's a school, like an arts performing school. So he graduated from there 2014. He was performing art, and he majored in piano performance, strengthening his instrumental abilities as a musician. I think any song, if you were to listen to any song where MKeys is featured, you talk about Diwakai, you'd share the piano influence, right? So if you listen to Diwakai, the feel is different from what you're used to as a piano consumer, as a piano listener. So it's all because of that. That means he's been in the music game for over like 2 decades, right? So that's where it comes, and the collaboration between him and Kabza and all the other amazing artists that we have collaborate. That's where it comes from. In formal education, graduated. He was doing performing arts in SA. That's the institution he went to. For those of you who are interested in following the same career path, that's where he went to. And same year, 2014, he released his debut EP. The name, it's two. It's not only one, it's two. And one was released under Sony. So the Family and Friends EP, 5 to 6 songs. EP, LP, an album is 7 to 10, 20 songs. That's an album, right? So he released an EP which consists of like 6 songs. He called it Family and Friends, and later on went on to release an Outbreak, The Transition, under Sony. So which that obviously cemented or like laid the foundation or his official entry within the music scene as a producer, even. So those are some of the things that I wanted to mention. Same year, like 2014 was a big year for him. He also got to play a keyboard at the Ken Phonic and Friends Union vibe. He performed there with a lot of like the local artists. Obviously, he performed in multiple local music events, establishing his presence, his stage presence. Because I don't know if you guys, there's something called the stage presence. If you were watching the summers, I did it. The performance by Babala and Nia Pell, you could see that there's no stage presence because those people are not performers. Those people are DJ. But even so, even if you're a DJ, someone may argue, like Waffles has more stage presence than Bawal Reyes or like Nia Perez, and that's what we speak of when you speak about like stage presence. So he was working on that between that time frame, between 2014 and 2015, right? So I know, like, I'm getting to the competition where you guys saw him in the ones in twos, I think in 2015. So we are getting to it. We are getting to it. So 2015, he was also like doing a lot of like local competitions. At some point, I think he reached the top 3 in the Red Square DJ Knockout Challenge, the Soweto edition, which really boosted his reputation within like the music circuit. So a lot of people, I think DJs specifically, knew him from there. I think even people like, if you know Kelvin Momo was also living in White City. As I said, because White City is like the street away from Folo in Soweto, and he was also like staying in Shawed at some point. So you can tell with people like Jaivani, people like Stoki, Kelvin Momo, people like MKeys, like the community. Understand? That's what I mean by saying Kuti. It kind of like built him or gave him the foundation, like collaborating with those amazing artists now. So yeah, that was in 2015. Imagine the music they were doing then. I wonder if we can still get the mixtapes that they were releasing then. But I think at the time, hip hop was really big. People were still doing good push at that time. I know, like 2016 was like 2015, 16, 17. That's when like Kara Kara came out, but that's not what we're talking about. In 2016, obviously, continued collaborating with other artists, and obviously, he keeps on growing as a brand. MKeys, the brand, keeps on growing, and he obviously entered the competition. SABC won the competition once and twos, and he was a part of the top 20 DJs, right? So a lot of people came from that platform. If you remember, Finality was also a part of that competition, but obviously didn't make it. Now, because he's famous, I think people are starting to say, "Oh, you remember the DJ was saying Finality was not good enough," which they were referring to Prince KB. Remember, Prince Keepy was not impressed with Fellow Litsi's DJing skills, whatever. But Fellow is big now, and Prince KB, not so much, not so much. I think it all speaks on God's timing, I guess. It all speaks on God's timing. So yeah, so he collaborated with the Idols season 10 with Boitumelo Morobane. You remember? I don't remember Boitumelo, but I know like Idols. There was some point in season 10, top 16 finalist Boitumelo Morobane. So he was a part of that, and he went on to release "Cherish the Day," vocal influence cover. This is like in 2016, and he also like did group collaboration within like the same year, 2016, and he did a lot obviously between 2014 and 2016. Like the 3 years he did a lot. So he became a part of like the group MellowRoots. He became of Black Orchid. He became part of Black Orchid, TappedSole, and he has expanded his influence within like the music community throughout all these group projects that he's been releasing with all these amazing artists, right? So he did all those things. So moving on, obviously, and I do commend people who are artists to also do that, because I think as a musician, when you start to listen to different styles or different fields of music, it influences all. It kind of it shapes how you receive music. Because if listen to someone who's listening to jazz, to someone who's listening to funk, to someone who's listening to neo soul, R&B, to someone who's listening to deep house, to someone who's listening to commercial, to someone who's listening to hip hop, and if you do like, if you are a fan of the music and not fan of a genre, you are able to like expand your music knowledge because you're always learning. That's why people like DJ Mapoise is able to like produce a hip hop single, and it blows. Then he goes on to release a piano singing. It's because he's using the background or the foundation that he has of what he knows about that genre. So if you're a hip hop DJ that follows that music, it does limit you to a degree, because at the end of the day, you need to make money out of your career, right? If you're a DJ, you need to make money out of that. But if you're specifically a hip hop DJ, you don't make money, because now what's trending, piano is trending. So that's why vocabs are eating so much. But if you are able to like always rebrand to what is relevant, to go, oh, okay, now this is what major leagues is the major league DJ has done. Like, you remember at some point they released Amantombazane featuring Kes, but they released a whole thing, I think, featuring Reiki, Frank Casino. I think they were part of like that mix, Ricky Rick featuring Frank Ocean and the major league DJs, the people that we were talking about. So they released that, and over time they started moving into piano, going into lockdown. They started within, like, you remember those sessions that they used to have. I don't know if they still have them. Those piano sessions where they DJ. They started moving into piano. They were not only like subject, like they were not only like producing or DJing, like, or recognized as like hip hop DJ. Like they started releasing. I think they also released a song. Like they released a song with, who's this? The girl who, I forgot her name. I'll remember the name and I'll just let you know. So yeah, you need to like have like different tastes or different influences of music. Don't be subjected to one genre. It can't just be hip hop, because within hip hop you get people that are playing for jazz, people. And even if you listen to Mask Off by Future, Andre 3000 was the one who was playing the flute in that, and the flute is jazz inspired. The flute, obviously Metro Booming, we had to chop it up, but the influence of that, it was all jazz music, right? So I'm just giving you a background of like the people that are listening and are still upcoming. And shout out to another artist by Katleho. I think it's Katleho, right? It's Katleho Vocals on TikTok. You should go out and check it out. He's amazing. He's got like the Lebo Matosa Brenda Fasi feel, and he's doing piano. It's amazing. Going back to who we're talking about, we are talking about MKeys. This is Timeline 2016, collaborating with a lot of artists. We spoke about MellowRoots, we spoke about Black Orchid, we spoke about TappedSole. Like, this is all the people he's collaborating with, like from different, like these people are from like different genres, and he's there, a pianist, a producer, a DJ, all a part of his brand. He's working on his skill. So obviously he started to release the MKeys Red Wall Fridays features, which like those were like mixes where he used to like play mixes and he would engage with fans to obviously consistently maintain his online presence with the music, right? So that's the timeline between when he started and what's still going on now. So like for those of you who don't know, they released a song, right? So You Are Guys, the name of the song, which features people like Kabza the Small, people, I think it's Kabza, Demtuda. So this is Demtuda singing. He's featured, MKeys is featured here. I think he's the one playing the keys. People like Mackenzie Young Spanner, Kabza the Small, Demtuda is obviously, I think when it comes to split, Demtuda is the one who has a bigger split because this is his song. Yeah, so they haven't they only released the visualizer. So for those of you who want to listen to the song, do go onto YouTube, search the song, and the song is currently sitting at 128k views, and it was released 6 days ago. So do let me know what you think about the song. Please also do not forget to follow, like, and subscribe to get a notification for each and every time we release an episode. I'm your host at the most, Lesego M Report, aka Shoot Your Shot, and maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy like Cairo. Let's meet again on another exciting episode of Backroom Convo with Lesego. Cheers.